All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Janek, and well, I'd like to tell you a very short story about Docker Cloud at CodeBeat. It's a project that I'm currently working on. Uh, what we do is static analysis for Swift, Ruby, Go, and Python at the moment. We plan to expand to more languages later. And in the last months, we have experienced a journey of discovering how to deploy complex applications like to Heroku, but with multiple constraints. So our project runs CPU-intensive tasks. So it requires multiple dependencies as well. Because we have Ruby, we have Go, Java, Python, protocol buffers, and we basically mix and match those technologies all together. And we are a team of two. So the constraints are quite heavy. And still, when it comes to deployment of our applications, we'd like to do basically what we are used to do in Ruby. So CI, CD, automatic scaling, like on Heroku with a slider. We'd like to get high performance and extensibility. So basically, how to do this? I won't tell you about everything about how we got there, but I'd definitely recommend Docker and Docker Cloud. How many of you have tried Docker? Oh, quite a few. Great. So today I'd like to just show you Docker Cloud, which is a platform for orchestrating containers and managing them using basically a simple web interface. This is something that solved all our problems, and yeah, we can manage any numbers of containers. We can, as you can see here, this is our infrastructure, our services. We can scale using a single slider, and still these are Docker containers that basically allow any customization we want using the wonderful feature set of available Docker images from Docker Hub and our custom images. Yeah, so Docker and Docker Cloud helped us a lot. And from here, I'd like to thank basically the Docker Cloud team, formerly known as Tutum. These are three wonderful guys from Spain that created this. And yeah, I think this is something that can really help us expand to new languages. That's something what Andrzej mentioned in his talk about leaving Ruby and exploring new things. And when it comes to deploying your apps, Docker Cloud is a great place to start. So if you'd like to ask us how we basically took this journey, feel free to chat with us afterwards and ask us questions. Yeah. So thank you very much. I don't know how much time is left. Thanks.
So I don't have any slides and an agenda here, but it worked well last year, so I'm gonna try it again. So let's start with, how many of you are on Facebook? Like, raise your hand. How many of you are on Facebook? Okay. And how many of you have Snapchat? Not that many, much less. So let me tell you that those of you who are only on Facebook, you are living in Matrix. You don't know the real stuff, okay? So let me explain you the difference between Snapchat and Facebook. So on Facebook, you have all those pretty things, pretty faces, my photos from vacations, Instagram photos with super filters applied, and I look super cute there. And we have like YouTube videos that took hours to prepare. We have links and posts, links to blog posts that other made. And we use Facebook to create like this image of us as professional, as super cool beings, and we show how awesome we are. Because we know that when we look for a job, every like employer will look for our Facebook, so we need to look cool there, and we want to appear we want to have our status, and we post on Facebook. And Facebook is full of those things that are pretty, but many times they're created by others. Okay, so you don't post your blog post, you post other blog posts that you read that are cool, but they're not yours. And compare it to Snapchat. On Snapchat, if you add something to your story, it's visible for 24 hours. You can't add someone else's videos. You can retweet things, reshare. So there's no this viral way of things that are pretty to get shared, like it's on Facebook. So in Snapchat, you see things as they are in real. So if you watch me or Andre on Snapchat, you will see like a few seconds of what it's be to us in real life, without like super cool filters applied, without all this agenda, without trying to pose as someone better. So if you follow people on Snapchat, you have this much more intimate relationship. You can see like what their real life is like, because they don't care about the content that they post there. It just will disappear after 24 hours and it's gone. Okay? So if you only look for celebrities, like people who talk on conferences through their Facebook, if you look at your friends or family through Facebook, you might think that they are some kind of superheroes that possess these enormous powers and only post wonderful things on Facebook, because that's what we do on Facebook. We don't post on Facebook our ugly photos. We do on Snapchat, because they will disappear. Okay? So here is my task for you today. Install Snapchat. It will be useful for you today. Tomorrow. I promise you that. But today, just try to install Snapchat. Get lost in its navigation, because it's super shitty and you won't know how to use it. So it's gonna take you at least a day to figure out how to add people on Snapchat, okay? It's that complicated. But your 10 years daughters can do it, so you can do it as well. Okay, I know people who are using Snapchat to talk with their children, and they can do it. So you can install and use Snapchat as well. It's not that hard. And tomorrow, you will add me, okay? But today, just try to install it. And there are 3 screens, like, okay, a photo, a chat, and stories, 3 screens. And you will try to figure out those 3 screens. It's not that easy, I promise you. I shit you not. It's pretty hard. 3 screens. And you will figure it out by tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow you'll be using Snapchat and posting shitty photos so that people see you in real life, not the better version of you that you post on Facebook, okay? So that's my message for you today. Thank you.
Hello. So this is my first lightning talk, so please bear with me. First of all, I would like to ask if there are any Haskellers in this room. Okay, so please bear with me because I suck at this, so I would like to introduce you to some Haskell concepts in Ruby using first of all, I would like to tell you what are monads. Not really, because I don't know how they work, actually. So what's the idea? In Ruby 2.30, there was the save navigation operator. So instead of writing this, you can write this. But it's only Ruby 2.3, so what happens with all the Ruby versions? There is this KLEISLI gem to the rescue. So this is an sane implementation of some simple monads. It's not written by me, actually. I just copy-pasted it by mistake. So there are some idiomatic clean implementations of common Haskell monads in Ruby. So you can write idiomatic monads using idiomatic Ruby code, however stupid that sounds. So first of all, we need to have function composition, which is a way, obviously, of composing functions. The example at the bottom should explain it sufficiently. So what we can do with this? This is a hack. The whole F thing is a hack. I don't know how that works, but it works. The bind operator is essential with monads. I'm not going to explain that, but it's required. So first of all, maybe monad. Maybe monad can be used to express something that can return nil at any point. We don't like nil, so basically whenever I get a nil, I get very stressed and it makes me really sad. So we can use maybe monad. The syntax is pretty bad. It's absolutely disgusting, I may say so. So we can use point-free or pointless style, as some people call it. It makes it more sufficient. But it's still bad. You can use now fmop, which makes more Ruby. So this basically yields some monads with or none if there is no user at all. Let's go even further, because maybe monad is like just implementing the safe navigation operator. Try-monad. Try-monad is used when you want to express a computation that can actually fail at any point. I'm going to use the fmap syntax as much as possible because it's simpler. So we can actually try parsing JSON and symbolize the case. Well, there's a problem here, because if the operation fails, it returns a nil. So what do we do with this? We can actually use maybe. Maybe is a concept that returns an object with an... it returns either some or none. Some if the operation succeeded, none if the operation did not succeed, and we have nothing to work with. Or if you actually want to know what went wrong with the operation, you can use to either. Either is very similar to maybe, but it actually returns right when things went right, or left when things went wrong. So you can actually read the exception, and you don't get a nil or something bad happening. It's the either monad. I think I actually misplaced the sides. So there is the either monad in detail. There's also a future monad, which I think is well known to some of you. It basically allows you to delay a computation until all required elements are required. So I don't think I explained it sufficiently, but there's a worked example. I think I use bind here because it's more readable at this point, because you block the whole computation until the whole pipeline is realized. And this is also realizable using fmap notation, which is quite shorter and more succinct, I think. So does anyone actually use this? Because I wondered this myself, but because when I saw the gem, I was like, why would anyone actually want to use this? So the most common usages I found of this are actually validations and writing API clients. Because API clients are unreliable sometimes, and there is the best example is the first one, because the second one, because he's actually writing a geocaching, geomapping example, and the API reliably fails, and the API written in a naive approach is really bad and unreadable. So, well, if you actually want to write saner code and more readable code, I recommend that you give it a go. But it might be confusing at first, but I recommend that you give it a go. It makes you think more flexible. Okay, so thanks for bearing with me, and if you have any questions, then maybe you can catch me later. Thank you.
Thanks.